Hey, old soul. Just over a year ago, I sold everything I owned in Australia and moved with my ex husband and 3 kids to this beautiful land of Bali. Now I travel first class around the world, teaching people how to manifest their dream life. If you're ready to step into a paradigm that's so wild, so freeing, so abundant, then you're exactly where you need to be. Welcome. Before I was riding my scooter down the road and I always go past this beautiful man and he always smiles at me. He like holds it's like a lollipop lady in Australia where you'd hold the sign for the kids to cross the road and he allows the kids to go to the school and he's always waving at me and he's so beautiful. And I wave at him and I'm like, toodaloo. And literally after I drive past him, I'm thinking about how nice this man is for like 30 seconds. Now, I've passed him. That's no longer in my physical reality. And yet I'm still thinking about how nice this man is after the reality has already come to pass. It's no longer my reality. I'm not living in that moment. I'm living in my imagination. And we do this every single day, all day long, because everything we're seeing is the consciousness of who we're being. And so every single day we are living in our minds. We are living in our minds. Now, where we have to understand and what has been, I guess, taken away from us when we were birthed into this world is that we've been taught to believe that this reality is real and that this reality is the only reality. The law of assumption, where it gets really deep and uncovers the true reality and the true nature, is that your imagination is more of your reality than your 3D reality. It is so much more of your reality than your 3D reality, but we believe that this is the real reality. But we cannot see past who we're being, and we're constantly living in our imagination. So Neville Goddard's teachings are all around the fact that our imagination is the real reality. And guess what that means? You are already a millionaire because you've been there in your mind. You are already insanely successful because you've already been there a million times in your mind. You have to understand that you are the version of you that you see in your mind. And what you have to understand is that, and we'll go much deeper with this later on, the 3D is the shadow of the 4D. The 4D is your imagination, your thoughts, where you're exploring in your mind. Now, if we're going to go deep with this and really think about this, what do you think our soul did before it incarnated to the human experience? It went wherever it desired. There was no time. There was no space. It was just like what we do in our minds every day. You can literally be on a private jet in 1 second, travel to 2030 in another second, go to a luxury holiday in another second. You are time traveling all the time in your mind. But we are stuck in the illusion that this reality, this 0.000000001% is our real reality. And so the only reason it's not manifesting is because we believe this is the truth when this is old news. The reality we're seeing is like a tape recorder that's just old news. It is our thoughts and our feelings from a while back. And we are seeing it on a tape recorder, and we'll go deep with how it all works. But we have to understand that if our thoughts are creating our reality, we have been a millionaire. We are a millionaire. This is why I always say it's already done, because it is. If you can see it in your mind, you are already there. You've manifested it. It is done. But you have been so conditioned to believe that this is the reality, that this is it. So, oh, if it's not showing up here, it's not here. And then what does that do? It affirms the 3D, and you get stuck in a loop where you're constantly playing with your shadow. And my guides gave me this, I would say terrible metaphor the other day, but they were like, it's like poo. It's like the waste of all the food that you've ingested and it's come out as poo, and we're playing with it all the time. We're just like, oh, yep. But we'll go deep and we don't have to look at it like poo, because there's parts of our 3D that we're going to want to keep. And when we want to keep those parts of our 3D, we affirm them, we interact with them. But when there's parts we don't desire, we must not interact with them because we are constantly affirming them, and that's how we get stuck in the loop. The problem with people not manifesting their greatest dreams and desires is that they give the 3D way too much attention. It's not real.